Thanks to the support as a channel member, Jack Watson. Win today and we get promoted. We do have a little bit more to do to win the league, but ultimately, who cares if we win the league or not? We just want to get promoted. And this is the situation with 5 games still to play for us. We are 11 points clear of third place, Portsmouth. So if we win this match while they're playing someone else, basically at the end of this match day, if we're still 11 points clear, they'll only have 3 to play. They'll only have 3 to play. We'll be promoted. We are still 7 points behind Luton. We do still play Luton, so there is still a chance, but we do need Luton to drop some points at some point if we're going to win the league. But like I say, ultimately, we don't really care about winning the league. We just want to get promoted. So this is the team that will hopefully secure promotion, and we're having a little bit of a left-back crisis. Fernandez is injured. Fares, the backup left-back, is also injured. So we're having to go with an injured left-back, which isn't ideal, but we're going with Mr. Tickle in goal. A back four of Fernandez, Atkinson, Carragher and Wayne. Miley at the base of the midfield. Gordon and McKiernan ahead of him. Wood on the left. O'Neill on the right. Sadie up front. Let's get the team submitted. And fingers crossed, secure promotion to the Championship. I'm not sure when Wigan were last in the Championship in this universe. Whether they've been up there in this... Are they in the Championship in real life? I feel like then maybe are. Or not? Let me know. I'll figure it out at some point. Have Posh played Wigan this season? I don't remember. Therefore, I think we're going to win the Championship in real life. But I would have to double check. But we're trying to get back there in this version of real life, which is much more important. And we're coming up against a very cowardly flat-back 6. Bunch of cowards. But we've beaten cowards before, and we will beat some cowards today. Fingers crossed. They are looking to do the long throw. They're doing all of my tricks. Long throw, not even aiming into the area, though, which is weird. And O'Neill comes away with the ball. O'Neill, can he release McKiernan? He can. McKiernan has got Sadie there. Sadie has the shot, but unfortunately, the goalkeeper manages to make the save, pushes it over. It remains 0-0. We need to keep an eye on what's going on in the Portsmouth and Barnsley matches. Why is that not? In fact, didn't I discover a new trick before Christmas? Yeah, that's the trick. So Portsmouth are drawing, Barnsley are not playing. Does that mean we can't? No, Barnsley are playing. We just can't see who they're... I'm not even going to try and understand. Ultimately, I did check and double check pre-match. If we win this match, we're promoted, I think. Let's just win it and then worry about the implications of that after the win is complete. That's probably the safest method. I don't think it matters what other teams are doing unless we bottle our end of it. Right, Gordon, ball over the top to Sadie. It's a lovely pass. It's a lovely finish. And it's 18 goals for the season now for Christian Sadie, who is closing in on 20 goals, which I think he finished on 19 last year after a slow start to the season. It took him a while to get used to this new system. He's used to it now and is scoring goals in this second half of the season. And that puts us 1-0 up, which in turn keeps us 11 points clear with them only having 3 games straight. Yeah, this is enough. It's not enough. We want a bigger win. We want to take the pressure off. But this should, if all ends like this, or even if this, it doesn't matter what happens in the other matches. If this match ends like this, we are promoted. But they are in here. And Mr. Tickle, justifying being a £16 million goalkeeper, the only £16 million goalkeeper in League One, about to make it to the Championship, which is jolly good if you ask me. And now Wood on the left-hand side, who might not make it to the Championship. He's only a 2.5-star player at this level. So as much as I like him because he's 6'4" and he had a great first half of the season, he might be the kind of player we are looking to replace, assuming we get promoted, and we are looking a lot more likely to secure that promotion now as O'Neill scores to put us 2-0 up. And it's all starting to look very, very pleasant. O'Neill's someone who might stick around next year because he's young and does have a lot of upside, a lot of potential to get better. So he is forcing his way into the reckoning and may well remain part of the squad for next season. I don't expect him to be a starter next season. He's not a starter this season consistently, but I certainly think he'll probably be part of the mix for next year unless we get an exceptionally good offer for him. Cabia isn't fully fit yet. That's why O'Neill's played the last game or two, because Cabia has taken a slight knock. But he should hopefully be back in time for that Luton game, which might still be a title decider. Luton have beaten Reading. We really need Luton to drop some points. Obviously, let's not bury the headline of it looks like we are going to be promoted. But at the same time, we do want to win the league, because winning the league is super fun. Right, Fernandez was never going to play the whole game. He's not fully fit. Fares, not fully fit either, but we'll get him on to play the rest of the match. I don't want to bring Cabia on in these circumstances because he is recovering from his injury. And what we will do is bring on Smith for McKiernan, push Miley forward. Smith's just got that little bit of extra experience, a little bit more defensively solid, and also plays some lovely passes into the four ahead of him, creates some lovely runs. Miley is pretty capable of being the direct late arrival in the penalty area, kind of bursting forward midfielder. Right, we are struggling. I am going to bring Cabia on. He's not fully fit, but he's not like proper injured. He returns to full training tomorrow. He can do 10 minutes now, you would think. And then we'll bring Kian Noble on for the last few minutes. We're going to bring him on for Carragher. Give Carragher a little bit of a rest as we secure promotion. Take off the captain with 10 minutes to go. Please don't balls it up from here, chaps. Right, Miley plays the ball out wide to Faris, who's charging forward, even though he's not fully fit. Wood gives the ball away. See, I do worry about him. Those injuries earlier in the year, he's a different player to what we were getting from him when he was, for a while, he was our top scorer. I don't think he is anymore. He might not even be second top scorer anymore. But yeah, for a while there, he was definitely leading the goal scoring charge, which I guess, to be fair, we needed him while everyone else was getting used to the system. He was the first one to figure out how to play this way. And for that, we shall thank him. Portsmouth are 4-0 up in their game. We don't care what Portsmouth are doing. It's irrelevant to us. Cabia into the area, back to Miley. There is the cherry on top. It's 3-0 to Wigan. And I think that is promotion back to the Championship. We do need to see the actual confirmation, because I've been burnt before by not being able to do football maths properly. But I think we've been promoted. We've just congratulated the boys on being promoted before I've seen mathematical evidence. Right, I'm seeing the words right there. We have been promoted. However, obviously, we want to try and win the league. We've got 4 games remaining. Luton are 7 points clear of us, but we play Luton at home. That's going to be the next match. Not the next match we play, the next match you see. Hopefully, by the time we get to that match, there will be a chance for us to catch them. That would be super. Luton just kept winning, so they've won the league. We're going to play them anyway, because we have to. We're 14 points clear, by the way, of Portsmouth. We've had a phenomenal season, but Luton are just absolutely bananas. But we're going to put the reserves out against them and see what happens. We need to have a look at some of our fringies. We're starting to think in terms of squad for next season. So we're going to have another look at Sharman Lowe. We're going to certainly have a look at Martin Palermo, who hasn't got any taller. When he came through this time last year, 6'2", very excited that he was going to grow. He spent most of the season out with a damaged spine. So he's played 38 non-competitive games. He did definitely damage his spine. How do I look at his injury history? You can tell I don't need to look at injury histories very often. I don't know where it is. I promise you, he was out for like 6 months with a damaged spine, but he's back. So we're going to see how he's developed over the course of the last year. He'll partner Carragher at the back. We're going to have a look at Elise, who realistically we're not keeping, but We'll give him a final run out for the club. Smith will play at the base of midfield probably for the last time, because I don't know that he's going to be a guy to take with us into the Championship. And then we're going to try O'Neill in central midfield, because he's played a lot of football out wide, but we want to try him infield, mainly because we wanted to see these two boys out wide. So Jude McRobbie, the other exciting youngster from last season, is going to get a run out for us this year. And Yusuf Ingram, who was awesome in Wigan episode 1, and we've barely seen since. He gets another run out, and then Taylor gets to start a football match finally up front for us. So a couple of name in the game boys in Palermo and McRobbie. Let's see how they get on. Let's see if they are going to be good enough to form part of our first team squad for next season. Certainly, if we'd have still been in this league next year, I would have expected both of them to start featuring. They are still only 16, so they've got plenty of time. I mean, they've got 2 or 3 more years before I start to worry that we're not using them. We'll be in the Premier League by then, but one or both of them might be playing for us if they can push on and get really good really fast. The other thing, of course, is it would be nice to beat Luton, especially with the reserves. I assume they've got a rotated team out as well, because what reason have they got to not rotate when they've already won the league? But they might be wanting to come here and send a message that they're just better than us, which hopefully they're not. Although, to be fair, I guess it is more useful if they are full strength, because it allows us to have a proper look at some of these fringe players and youngsters and decide if they're actually going to be good enough to play against a team who are going to be in the Championship with us next year. Keeley, I know, is the guy who's considered the best goalkeeper in the league. And Al Hamadi, I remember playing against us earlier in the season. So I think this is the first choice Luton team. So if we get anything out of them with this 11, then it's a big round of applause for the boys involved. But the two we really want to be playing well, Palermo and McRobbie, the two that I've invented. The rest of these, even the rest of the homegrown ones, they were here when I got here. Those two are my boys. And that's Elise massively out of position and giving away a penalty. No, actually, it's some good defending from him, to be fair. Ingram lays it off to O'Neill, McKiernan, O'Neill, Taylor. I mean, that could have been a jolly fine goal. 'Twasn't to be. And it remains 0-0. But a decent counter-attack there. We counter-attacked with pace, which is always exciting. But now the in-swinger, Carragher heads clear, but only as far as a Luton player, and it's fired across the face of goal. I think Sharman Lowe has it covered. I expect him to kick off this summer, because he came in being told he was going to be an important player. He's played like 3 or 4 matches while Mr. Tickle was injured, which I guess it's maybe delayed the inevitable, the fact that Mr. Tickle did get injured and that he's now getting to play in this game. He'll play in the next game as well. So he'll end having played about 6 of the maybe 15 matches he was available for. So he might not kick off this summer, but certainly, assuming we don't sell Mr. Tickle, which, judging by that attempt at goalkeeping, we're not going to be selling Mr. Tickle. So assuming we don't sell Mr. Tickle, I should think before the transfer window closes again, Sharman Lowe will have a grumpy on, unless we manage to adjust his playing time this summer without him kicking off, which does seem fairly unlikely as well. Right, Faris playing at left back today. We definitely need to sign a left back this summer. What we haven't seen yet is any kind of budgets for the transfer window, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to have had a bit of an idea. I want to know if we can. Actually spend decent money. I mean, we're well overdrawn at this point. I talked in the transfer video a couple of days ago about how getting promoted to the Championship is worth £10 million. I don't know that it actually is. And I don't know if getting promoted is even going to clear our overdraft. We could conceivably not be given very much money at all to spend, which would be a disaster, trying to compete in a Championship where we clearly don't have a squad good enough for that level yet. We need to go up there and do some like 4, 5, 6 really good first team quality players. We need 2 new fullbacks, probably need a replacement. We probably need a whole new back 4, to be honest. And then probably at least 1 more midfielder, another striker, because Taylor will leave. I think we're probably all right for the wingers. Maybe a left winger, but maybe we keep with Wood for 1 more year, knowing that McRobbie is coming through to take over from him eventually. Maybe we don't sign anybody to block that pathway. We'll see. And of course, we want to know if we've got the money to sign Sol Gordon as well. And just in case we don't, let's bring him on for potentially the final time. Cabby is going to come on the right-hand side as well. And then, you know what I want to do? I just want to have a look at Wood at left back. I wonder I wonder if we might be turning him into a left back. James Carragher gets the equaliser. Our captain, possibly in one of his final appearances for the club. He wanted to leave back in January when Blackburn came in for him. Bearing in mind he's almost 30 and probably not good enough for the Championship. If somebody of that calibre comes in for him again, I'm probably not going to say no. And we might be moving him on. So that might be a nice little way for him to say goodbye after spending his entire career at the club so far. Right. Final substitutions. Let's get Sadie on. And then we're also going to bring on Wayne for Elise. Elise's rubbish. Wayne is another one that I'd quite like to sign permanently. Maybe. I don't know. We could probably do better. The whole of the back four, we can probably do better. We shouldn't be signing him permanently unless he's available on a free. And now O'Neill's given away a penalty. I mean, Elise didn't give away a penalty before. It just looked like he was going to. Can Sharman Lowe save the penalty and start to redeem himself in my eyes? I tell you what, we've got two decent goalkeepers here, I think. I wonder what kind of offers we're going to get from Mr. Tickle this summer, because against the best team in the league, Sharman Lowe's put in a man of the match performance. He's not a bad goalkeeper. He's obviously not Mr. Tickle, but he's not so much worse than him that it's really obviously noticeable. Right, Gordon, charging forward. Hopefully we're going to see more of this from him next year because we'll be able to sign it. I think it's 1.4 million we need to sign him permanently. So fingers crossed we at least get that in our budget. But we're trying to grab a winner here. McRobbie to Gordon, and now Wood at left back. McRobbie! And Jude McRobbie has his first goal for the club. It's a 92nd minute winner against champions Luton. That boy has got a future at this football club. That's lovely work from McRobbie. It's 2-1. The 16-year-old has grabbed the winner. Beautiful stuff. It's not enough for us to close the gap on them. They're still 4 points ahead of us with a game to go. But we sent a message there. We put out the reserves and the youth team. They put out their first team and we won. If we hadn't have had that wobbly January when we were too focused on transfers, who knows what might have happened. I'm not going to bother showing you the last game of the season. You already know we're promoted. But we'll be back on Monday for arguably the most important transfer window of the series so far. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Don't forget, Bedford are back on Sunday, live on Twitch and LOLLUJO too. Probably should have said that a little earlier in the video, but hopefully I'll see you there. And thank you very much for watching.